Dear students, in previous lecture we discussed basic solution of one-dimensional wave equation, which is a part of second order partial differential equation, and we discussed the solution using the method of separation of variables. Today we will discuss a very important problem based over one-dimensional wave equation. As you can see, an example is given based over a string which is stretched and fastened to 2 points L apart. That means the string is fixed between 2 points. The distance between those 2 points is L units. And then motion is started by displacing the string in this form, means displacement y or yxt is equals to a sine lambda x upon L when time t equals to 0. Now we have to show that displacement of any point at a distance x from one end at time t, that is displacement y, which is function of distance x and time t, is to be proved equals to this expression. And we start the solution with say that statement of string. Whenever a string is given or a spring is given, we have to go for wave equation, and only one variable, only one distance x is included, so one dimensional wave equation is to be applied, and that is, as you can see, equation 1 is one dimensional wave equation, which we have solved in previous lecture with certain details. And for solving this, as you know what we did in previous lecture, we start with the method of separation of variable with assuming that displacement y equals to capital X into capital T as assumption or assumed solution of equation 1, where capital X is function of small x only and capital T is function of small t only. And by doing that, partial order derivative, second order partial derivative del 2y by del t square, means partial differentiation of y with respect to small t 2 times will provide us capital X, which is to be treated as constant there, into t double dash, which is d2t by dt square, the ordinary derivative of second order of capital T with respect to small t, because in this case partial and an ordinary derivative becomes similar. And similarly del 2y by del x square becomes x double dash t. We have discussed certain details in previous lecture, and by doing that all, by substituting these results in equation 1, we get capital X t double dash equals to c square x double dash t, and we will simplify this equation in next slide. The last step of previous slide is simplified as x double dash upon x equals to 1 upon c square t double dash upon t, nominated as equation number 3, whose left hand side is function of small x only and right hand side is function of small t only. These are two independent variables. So for justification of this equation, we assume both these sides equals to some common constant, say small k. By doing that, we get a set of two ordinary differential equation, x double dash minus kx equals to 0 and t double dash minus kz squared t equals to 0 as equation number 4. Now we have seen all these details. We can choose k as positive, negative or 0. We have done it in previous lecture in detail, so I'm not repeating that all part. I'm just saying that by taking these three choices, finally we see that for negative value of k, that is k equals to minus p square, the solution, initial solution of given problem becomes y equals to c1 cos px plus c2 sin px into c3 cos cpt plus c4 sin cpt. For negative value of k, we have chosen this solution out of three possible choices. And why we have taken this? Because of presence of sine and cosine as periodic functions, and for waves, for springs or strings we have waves, and for waves we have period, we have to have periodic functions. We have discussed it all in previous lecture why we choose this. So it's about initial possible solution along with 4 constants. What we have to do? We have to find values of these 4 constant, and for that purpose we start with initially given 2 conditions, that y 0t equals to 0 and y lt equals to 0. Means at x equals to 0 y is 0 and x equals to l y is 0. Substituting these two results in equation 5, we obtained 6 and 7. How? Say y is 0, so 0 equals to x is 0, cos 0 in 1 and sin 0 is 0. So y is 0, which is equals to c1 into cos 0, which is 1, sin 0 0, into c3 cos cpt plus c4 sin cpt. Then y is also 0 at x equals to l, so y 0 and x equals to l is substituted at these two places for cos and sin. Remaining terms remains invariant. So that is about equation 6 and 7, using which we have to develop some idea for finding values of constant c1 c2 c3 c4. Now we start the proceedings with equation number 6, and certainly c1 can be taken as 0 as an easier choice, because c3 cos cpt plus c4 sin cpt can't be 0. Why? Because if we assume this expression as 0, then what will happen? If that is 0, then equation number 5 will provide y equals to 0, which is a null solution, and we have to prove a non-null, a non-zero solution. That's why, or in other problem, we must try to avoid null solution as far as we can avoid. That's why we can't choose c3 cos cpt plus c4 sin cpt as 0. So out of that equation 6, one certain result is to be c1 equals to 0, because only c1 equals to 0 will make satisfaction of that equation. That equation will be justified only with c1 equals to 0. And what happens if we take c1 equals to 0 and we substitute that in equation 7? Now it becomes c1 is 0, c2 sin pl into that bracket c3 cos cpt plus c4 sin cpt equals to 0. So we have mixed all these results till this equation. Now as the 0 is appearing in right hand side, so out of these three factors, means out of c2 or sin pl or that bracket having c3 cos cpt plus c4 sin cpt, at least one has to be 0 for satisfaction of this equation. Now we discuss it one by one. If I take c3 cos cpt plus c4 sin cpt 0, again equation 5 will provide null solution. We have to avoid that. If I take c2 as 0, c1 is 0 for the sure. Enough, I take c2 also as 0. What will happen? c1 and c2 both 0 means again null solution will come out of equation 5. So for avoiding null solution, neither c2 nor that bracket c3 cos cpt plus c4 sin cpt can be taken as 0. So we have only one choice, to take sin pl as 0. And for general solution of this equation, we assume it as sin pl equals to sin n pi, so pl becomes n pi and p becomes, so we obtained value of p as n pi upon l with certain natural choices for n only. N is taken as a natural number. In fact, it can be taken as an integer also because of that solution, but here for whole structure of the solution only natural choices of n are suitable. So using this value of p equals to n pi l in that equation which we obtained just before, we will see what happens in next slide. Now by that substitution of p equals to n pi upon l in that equation, y becomes c2 into c3 cos n pi ct upon l plus c4 sin n pi ct upon l into sin n pi x upon l. And then we multiply that c2 inside, so it becomes c2 into c3 and c2 into c4 as far as the coefficients as constants are concerned. And as we are talking over the general value n now, So we assume that C2 into C3 becomes a constant based over n, that is an, and C2 into C4 becomes bn. So we are generalizing this solution, and if we add this solution for all separate values of n, then it becomes the most general powerful solution of the given problem. So that is, up to this instant equation 8 is obtained, which is providing the solution, but still two unknowns are waiting to be responded by us. Those are an and bn, and for the purpose we still have several conditions in our pocket, like initial condition: when t equals to 0, y was some certain function of x, which we know that which form is given for fx, we will write in some further step. But y is some function of x, and del y by del t means partial differentiation of this equation with respect to t is also 0, and both these instants are to be keep at t equals to 0. So if we substitute t equals to 0 and y equals to fx in equation 8, what becomes? Y equals to fx, fine, and t is 0 means sine 0 becomes 0. So it becomes sigma n equals to 1 to infinite an, and t is 0, so cos 0 1, so it's an into sine n pi x upon l. So equation number 9 is obtained by the process. And then del y by del t, if we partially differentiate it with respect to t, then differentiation of cos n pi ct upon l becomes sine, and differentiation of sine becomes cos, and at t equals to 0, finally the simply after certain simplification the equation is obtained as 0 equals to sigma n equals to 1 to infinite n pi c upon l, coming as differentiation of sine into bn into sine n pi x upon l is equation 10. Now these two equations are the equations using which we have to pick the values of an and bn. If we observe equation 9, one important chapter, one important feature of Fourier series must come in your mind, because if fx is in this form, then it is nothing but the series of sines only, half range sine series, and that constant an can be obtained for half range sine series for that function fx through this formula, that is an equals to 2 by l. You must remember the formula through chapter Fourier series, 2 by l 0 to l, that fx, which we know the form, we will substitute in some further steps, sine n pi x upon l dx. That is the formula for finding an if that is half range sine series. And what about equation 10? As we can't have n pi x upon l equals to 0, neither n pi c upon l is 0, so that equation is only satisfied if we take bn equals to 0 for all values of n. So we assume that bn becomes 0 for all values of n, and by these substitutions, that equation 8, the confirmed solution till this now becomes now modified as bn is 0, so y equals to sigma n equals to 1 to infinite an cos n pi ct upon l into sine n pi x upon l. Now we are remained with only one unknown an, for which we already know about this formula through half range sine series, and fx means, as initially it was given in the condition, fx means yx0, and yx0 was given as sine pi x upon l into a. So by substituting value of fx, and then if we integrate, we will find except n equals to 1 for all other natural values of n, that integral will become 0. So an becomes 0 for all values except n equals to 1, and for n equals to 1 it becomes sine pi x upon l into sine pi x upon l, means sine square pi x upon l with that multiplication of all those constants. So we are calculating a1 separately by integrating it, and by substituting limit we get that a1 is equals to a. So we have to substitute all values of an in equation 12 to get the final solution. It is sigma n equals to 1 to infinite an means a1, a2, a3, etc. But as we know that except a1 all other values of an are 0. So only one value of n is to be substituted there in that sigma, that is n equals to 1. So it becomes y equals to a1 cos pi ct upon l, because n is 1, and sine pi x upon l, and value of a1 is a. So finally the solution y is obtained as y or yxt is equals to a cos pi ct upon l into sine pi x upon l. So that is all about solving one important problem through one dimensional wave equation.